Hey everybody, I'm making a new type of video today where I actually am going to talk you through what I'm doing on these tiles that I'm making. I actually am making coasters, but I'm using ceramic tiles that I bought at the store. They're about 15 cents each, so pretty inexpensive. Yeah, you can get them at like a Home Depot or a Lowe's. I got these at Menards in the tile section, I guess you could call it, where they hide all the bathroom tiles. What I started out doing was adding I guess you could call it like a base coat where I just use plain white acrylic paint. You could use house paint if you want for this. I just had I have a lot of white laying around the house that I wanted to use. And I pre-mixed this off camera. I didn't want to bore you with what mixing it, but it's a one-to-one mixture of paint and Floetrol. I added some water, not much though. As you can see, the cup that I'm using isn't very big. Just trying to mix it to the consistency of warm honey. Just spreading the paint around now, covering each corner side to side. It's a method that I haven't used yet while pouring that I thought I would try today. Uh, One way that I've learned pretty quick while making some of these coasters, when you don't want to waste a lot of the base coat, or if maybe you didn't mix quite enough like I did with some of these, when you tilt your tile or your coasters on here, um, you can just tilt over other tiles and that'll collect all the drippings, and then you'll have more paint to it'll go a long way, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Just continuing to cover these tiles. The method that I used today, and you'll see it in a little bit, I poured just one color on each set, and then I used a straw to blow the paint around. And it actually didn't turn out too bad. I wasn't quite sure how it was going to react, seeing that I didn't really have a straw laying around. So I took a pen that we had and just kind of took it apart with the pliers and just used the plastic tube of the pen as my straw. It's a good way not to go through straws every time too. You can reuse it. It's easy to wash out, things like that. This one I use kind of like a metallic brown, I guess you could say. It's not really gold, it's not really brown, it's not really a tan. Just some extra acrylics that I have laying around that I want to use up. I usually use a Blick Art or Amsterdam, and sometimes Liquitex. Blick Art's really my go-to though. I'm going to try some Arteza in the future. Actually, don't even. This might be Americana. Not quite sure. It's more like the craft acrylics that you can get at the store. Now I take off my gloves here because they're covered in paint. I didn't want to get paint on the straw because I want to keep using the straw. Like I said, it's just an old pen that I've converted into a straw. You can see I'm just blowing it around. Not really quite sure what I'm doing here, mainly because it's the first time that I've used this technique. I usually just pour like a ring or a flip cup on coasters, and then I get what I get. You'll see a little bit more here. I get my big shoulder out of the way. So you can tell that I've blown a little bit more off camera. I'm going to finish up here with these colors, and then I'll show you some of what this looks like. I did 3 sets this day, this kind of tan brownish metallic color. I did a yellow, and then you'll also see that I do a green as well. I didn't record the yellow for 2 reasons. The reason I'll give you as the main reason is because I didn't want to bore you, but the real reason was I forgot to hit record. Here I'm just blowing or popping the air bubbles with the torch that you can get at Menards. You don't have to buy super fancy torch from like a cooking store or anything. Some people like using the butane, the big expensive butane lighters, which whatever you want to use. I found that these disposable butane ones are like $1.99, if that, at Menards, Lowe's, Home Depot. If you look in the plumbing departments, you'll find them there. That's where I always find mine. Either in the plumbing department or kind of like where you can buy firewood at Menards, usually like on the second level. This isn't a Menards commercial, even though it's starting to sound like one. Now I do the same thing here. I start off with the base coat, tilt over other tiles to catch the drippings. And then here's the green metallic. This is an Americana paint. I remember that for sure. Like I said, I'm just trying to get rid of some of the acrylics that I have. And I use the same technique as well. I take my straw/pen and blow it out. Get my hat in there so you can't really see what's going on. The green was mixed a little thicker. I don't think I used as much water actually in this because I was using water, Floetrol, and water. And if I remember right, I didn't use as much water. It's kind of like my first test set where I was just seeing if it would work. My first test set did. I've made 2 other sets after this that worked out just fine. And then for some reason, the third set, after I sprayed it, I use an engine gloss to spray. It's an enamel to cover it so they're heat resistant. And when I baked them in the toaster oven, they turned brown. So I don't know if I didn't have enough paint on it and the acrylics themselves kind of burned. But just watch that if you plan to do it. And I'd be more than happy to answer any questions if you want to comment below. Get my big head in the way still. I've got a small space to record in, so it's not the most ideal painting space, but it works out for what I got. And I'm just going to finish up the other 2. I won't bore you with showing you everything. You can see the other set of yellow just above the green set there. And you wait about 3 weeks to spray them with the engine enamel and then bake them. That way all the moisture out of the paint is gone. Don't quite know why I'm making sure that's staying up there. Maybe it was a little tilted. Here's the final results. I hope you enjoy, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my page. Happy pouring!